MSTR, the Bitcoin supertanker trading below its own BTC pile. Why some investors are pouncing right now. MicroStrategy MSTR today is basically a publicly traded Bitcoin holding company with a software business attached. And that's why aggressive investors are paying attention right now. As of late 2025, the company holds around 650,000 BTC, over 3% of all Bitcoin that will ever exist, worth more than its current stock market value. So you're effectively buying a huge BTC pile at or near a discount through a NASDAQ ticker instead of holding coins directly. Management isn't just sitting on it either. They've been consistently buying the dip, adding thousands of BTC in just the last few weeks alone, turning equity offerings and structured financing into more Bitcoin on the balance sheet. On top of that, MicroStrategy has built a $1.44 billion reserve specifically to cover dividends and interest for roughly the next 21 months, so they're not forced to sell BTC during a nasty crypto winter. That combination, big BTC stash, constant accumulation, and a safety buffer is what makes the story exciting if you're already long-term bullish on Bitcoin. Financially, Bitcoin's big run in 2025 has flowed straight into the numbers. MicroStrategy has posted multi-billion-dollar operating and net income in back-to-back quarters of strong earnings, driven largely by BTC appreciation, plus their ability to tap the market for capital and deploy it into more Bitcoin. For a while, the stock traded at a huge premium to the value of its BTC holdings, but after a sharp pullback from the highs, down 30 to 60% off peak depending on where you measure, analysts now see it trading much closer to or even slightly below its Bitcoin net asset value. That's the why now angle bulls like. Instead of paying 2 to 3 times book just to ride their BTC, you may be getting something closer to spot exposure plus optionality on future Bitcoin gains and any software strategy upside. If Bitcoin marches higher over the next 3 to 5 years and management keeps stacking coins and targeting double-digit yield on that treasury through financing and structured deals, MSTR could outperform BTC itself because you've got more coins and a higher price per coin feeding into equity value. But the same things that make MSTR exciting also make it dangerous. The company is massively concentrated in a single volatile asset. Owning MSTR is basically saying, I want to ride the Bitcoin story in the stock market with leverage, structure, and a management team whose full-time mission is to hoard more BTC than anyone else. And for some long-term, high-risk investors, that's a very attractive way to express a Bitcoin conviction. Strategy Inc.'s ticker MSTR, formerly MicroStrategy, has openly repositioned itself as the world's first and largest Bitcoin treasury company, not just a business intelligence software vendor. The company's own investor relations page says it has adopted Bitcoin as its primary treasury reserve asset and uses proceeds from equity, debt, and operating cash flow to strategically accumulate Bitcoin, which means when you buy MSTR, you're effectively buying into a corporate machine designed to convert dollars and stock into more BTC over time. Strategy. As of December 1st, 2025, that machine has built a staggering stash, roughly 650,000 BTC on its balance sheet, worth about $55 to $56 billion at recent prices, representing more than 3% of all Bitcoin that will ever exist, and putting Strategy at the top of public company holders worldwide. Meanwhile, the stock's basic market cap is in the neighborhood of $49 billion, with diluted value closer to $55 billion, depending on whether you look at basic, diluted, or enterprise value. Metrics like MNAV show the equity trading roughly around or even slightly below the fair value of its BTC stack. For a believer in Bitcoin's long-term upside, that's the first core reason to own MSTR. Unlike earlier periods when the stock traded at a wild premium to its BTC, right now you're essentially getting near spot exposure to a giant Bitcoin pile, plus the option that the market once again pays a premium for this Bitcoin supertanker in the next euphoric cycle. A second reason to own it is the high-octane part. MSTR isn't just a static BTC vault, it's a vehicle that tries to grow its BTC per share over time through financial engineering. The company has repeatedly issued convertible debt, preferred stock, and new common shares in risk-on environments and used that capital to buy more Bitcoin. So every time the crypto cycle turns up, they aim to come out of it with more coins than they had going in. Remember, this is education, not financial advice. Follow at the Red Suit Investor.